So story time. True story. About 4 or 5 years ago, my husband, 6 years ago, whenever he very first started driving truck, and he started working for this metal company, recycling company, because, you know, we had a hard time then for him to find a job around here. You know why? Because he's married to a trans person. Anyway, but that's beside the point. Anyway, that's not where the story is going. The story is, he was on the truck driving somewhere, and he saw a mannequin in the front seat of a truck that was dressed like those crash test dummies. I know what I'm talking about. You know, you've seen them on TV. You know, easy. Well, every day for about 3 months, 4 months went on, and he was like, I want me one of those posable dummies that, you know, that are like 6 feet tall that you can sit in the front seat. Well, I was doing everything in my might to try to find one that we could afford. And those mannequins are not cheap. Like, used mannequins are anywhere between $800 to $2,500. Used. Well, I was like, there is just no way. There is no way we can afford that on something you just going to play dress up with. Not what I told him. So it went on, and finally he came up with how about getting one of those SX dolls, y'all know what I'm talking about, and dressing her up. I'm like, well, we could try that. You know, the blow-up kind. Well, I ordered it. It was like $70. Okay. This is the first time that I've ever wasted $70 in my life. And so it comes in this box and everything, and he opened it. We didn't blow her up or anything, nothing like that. He just left her in the box because he was going to put it in the truck. Well, he put it in the trunk of the car, and I told him, I said, Chris, don't leave that in the trunk of the car because she is plastic, and she has silicone parts, and she has plastic parts that will get too hot and melt, right? So it goes on. And he leaves this mannequin, I know, in this doll in the back of the car in a trunk for, I know, 6 weeks. Every bit of it. And this was dead July, like 103-degree weather, heat beaming down, hot. And then, you know, that trunk gets 3 or 4 times that. But he forgets she's in the trunk, and when he comes home, and I was like, did you ever do anything with that blow-up doll? He was like, no, she's still in the trunk. So he goes out there. He said, I better go get her out and see if she's okay. I said, I can already tell you she's not okay. Well, here we go. My husband, thinking he's the smartest man in the world, goes out, pulls a... I follow out there with him because, you know, I'm nosy. I'm curious. Well, let me just go ahead and say her yayas were made of silicone, and her woo-woo was made of silicone too, like that real thin silicone. Y'all know what I mean. Well, anyway, he pulled her out of the box, so we unfolded her, and her hoo-ha was glued to her mouth. I laughed so hard that day, y'all. I laughed so hard I peed on myself. You hear me? So that was the story, and every time I think about it, I still smile because it's the funniest thing. And her hand was glued to her butt cheek. She was doing dirty things in a box in the back of the car. I guess she said, since I can't get no attention, I'll go ahead and give it to myself. It was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life. Like I said, I laughed so hard, I peed a little bit on myself. I ain't gonna lie, I laughed and laughed and laughed. And look, and what's even funnier, so he gets another one a few years, let me say about 6-7 months ago. So the last 2 days, I have been shaving her hair off, putting on a new wig, doing gothic makeup on this doll now. Doing gothic makeup. Because he wants to, you know, dress her up in gothic for Halloween, and then he wants to do her, you know, put her in a, he's big into Star Wars and Star Trek stuff, so he wants to put her in one of those costumes, and then Christmas dress her up. I'm like, you just playing with too many dolls here. I'm worried about you. You something wrong. You just playing with too many dolls, or you gonna end up becoming a ventriloquist. I told him that's why I can't stay on the truck with you, because I am not a doll person. Because I tell you, I done seen too many horror movies about some darn dolls with like Annabelle. That thing move on me, we fighting. And I'm burning the whole house down with you in it. I ain't playing with that mess with the Annabelle stuff. That's how I am. Like, dolls are not my thing. I don't own a doll. I don't even like his little doll thing in my house right now, but I'm trying to help him get it done so he can put it back on the truck, because that thing's scary to me. I don't like it. So I spent yesterday shaving his head and gluing the new wig on, which is one of my old wigs from back I've had probably a long, long time. It's an old wig. I might have to cut the wig because it's like butt length. And yeah, it's been a very... So I just got through doing the gothic makeup on it, which it ain't really gothic. It's just a bunch of black markers because, you know, makeup don't stick to plastic. We all know that. But, yeah, that was my story and the weird life that I live. And it's just odd and funny all at the same time. Yeah, my husband is weird. We get it. But that's what I love about him. And before you perverts come out there, no, he's not doing anything with that doll. I know what he's doing with that doll. He's playing dress up with that doll. I love you guys, but I just thought I'd share that story.